Hey, before anything else, can I ask you a quick favor? Your subscription is what keeps this channel alive. If you've ever felt something from this story or any of the others, or if this channel has ever made your day better, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. It helps me way more than you can imagine. Now, let's get into the story. The fire came faster than she ever could have imagined. 1 second, the air was thick with pine and silence, the kind of untouched quiet that Mika had come to the mountains to find. The next, smoke.
Thick.
Acidic.
Alive.
It rolled in like a beast, curling between the trees, swallowing the trail behind her as if it had teeth. She ran, coughing, stumbling, her legs burning with exhaustion and fear. The cabin, her temporary refuge, was already engulfed. She saw the roof collapse through the haze. Sparks flew like fireflies. Her throat screamed with every breath, lungs filling with heat and ash, and she knew, with terrifying clarity, that she wasn't going to make it. She fell to her knees, coughing violently, vision swimming in orange and black. Her palms dug into the forest floor, trembling. And just as her body gave in, the world cracked open. Something moved through the smoke, fast, low, wrong. A growl vibrated in her chest, but it wasn't hers. It was behind her, all around her. Then arms. Not gentle, strong. Unbelievably strong. A body collided with hers and swept her off the ground like she weighed nothing. Her scream never made it out. Wind rushed past her ears as they ran. No. Leapt through the fire. The figure holding her was wrapped in heat and the scent of forest and blood. Mika barely processed anything but the feel of muscles coiled beneath skin, the flash of glowing eyes, the sharpness of claws grazing her leg as the creature moved. But it wasn't a monster. It was a woman. A woman with skin streaked in soot and sweat, hair matted and wild, teeth bared in something between a snarl and a smile. Her body was covered in scars, some ancient, some fresh. And her eyes, oh God, her eyes. Gold. Not metaphorically. Actually gold, like molten metal, gleaming with a light that didn't belong to any human. And then, silence. The heat behind them vanished. They were deep in the forest now, the fire far away, nothing but darkness and stars above. Mika collapsed onto the dirt as the woman set her down roughly. You're alive, the voice rasped, feral and foreign. And then the woman turned and ran on all fours, faster than anything should be able to move. Mika was left alone, heart pounding, mouth dry, staring at claw marks in the dirt. And footprints. Not human. Too long. Too wide. With digits that ended in sharp impressions. She didn't sleep that night. When the rangers found her the next morning, she barely spoke. She said the fire drove her out. Said she was lucky. But she didn't say what she saw. Who carried her. Who vanished into the forest like a shadow with breath. Back in the city, the world tried to resume its shape. She returned to her apartment. The news talked about wildfires, record heat, climate devastation. Her phone buzzed with work emails. Her friends called to check in. But she couldn't stop thinking about that woman. About the way she moved. About those eyes. The world suddenly felt paper thin, as if something ancient had clawed through it and reminded her that magic wasn't dead. It had just been hiding. Then 3 days later, she heard the knock. Not gentle. Not impatient. Precise. 3 knocks. She opened the door and dropped the coffee in her hand. It was her, standing there like something carved from forest and rage. The same golden eyes. The same scars. But now she wore a hoodie. Faded jeans. As if that could hide the wildness. You owe me, the woman said. Mika blinked. What? I saved your life. You're mine now. Mika stared, breathless. Who, what are you? The woman stepped inside uninvited. Kaya. She turned. And I'm a werewolf. Mika backed up. Her spine hit the wall. Excuse me? Don't bother denying what you saw. You remember. This is insane. So is fire. So is survival. Kaya's eyes narrowed. But you're not stupid. You know I'm real. You just don't want to believe it. Mika shook her head slowly, her voice barely a whisper. Why are you here? Because I need something. And you're the only one who can give it to me. Mika laughed, dry and nervous. You need a human? For what? A snack. Kaya's lip curled. Cute. But no. I need someone who doesn't belong to my world. Someone who can walk among yours without being hunted. Because something is killing my kind. Systematically. Silently. And I can't stop it alone. Mika swallowed hard. Why me? Because I saw you before the fire. I smelled you. You're different. And I felt. Kaya paused, visibly uncomfortable. I felt a pull. A bond. A bond. Forget it. Kaya turned, pacing like a caged animal. Look, I don't care if you believe me. I just need help. Information. Access. Shelter. I can't hide like this forever. And if I say no... Kaya's eyes flashed gold. You won't. Mika's voice cracked. You don't know me. No, Kaya said quietly. But I will. Mika didn't sleep that night. Kaya sat in her living room like a wild animal trapped in a cage too small, every movement tense, shoulders hunched, muscles twitching like she was one wrong sound away from bolting through the window. Mika watched her from the hallway, heart hammering, phone in hand but useless. Who was she going to call? The police? Hi, there's a werewolf in my apartment demanding a favor. She wouldn't even make it past the dispatcher. But what terrified her more than Kaya's presence was the way her body wasn't afraid. Not exactly. She should have been terrified. She'd seen this woman move like wind and shadow, carry her through fire, disappear into the forest like she belonged to another world entirely. And yet, her skin tingled when Kaya looked at her. Her breath caught when Kaya's voice dropped low. It wasn't fear. It was something deeper. Older. Wrong in all the right ways. Do you always pace like that? Mika finally asked, stepping into the room. Kaya turned sharply, eyes flashing gold for a fraction of a second before fading. When I'm trapped, yes. You're not trapped. A concrete box. Fluorescent lights. Air that smells like chemicals. This is a trap. It's a city apartment. It's unnatural. You're the one who showed up here. You owe me. Right? Mika muttered, arms crossed. The favor. What exactly are you asking? Kaya's jaw tensed. Shelter. Temporary. A guide. I need to find the ones killing my kind. And you want me to what? Take you to the mall? Help you blend in? If that's what it takes. Mika laughed. You're serious. You know I am. And why do you think I can help? I'm just normal. You're not, Kaya said, eyes narrowing. I felt it the night I pulled you from the fire. You're connected to me. I don't know how, but it's there. A pull. Mika's heart stuttered. You said that before. Because it hasn't stopped. Kaya stepped closer, slow, predatory, but not threatening. Just intense. I feel it when you breathe. When you speak. It makes me want to stay human longer than I should. That's not comforting. It's not meant to be. It's truth. Mika looked away. You're not good at this. At what? Being around people. Talking. Not sounding like you're seconds from biting me. Kaya smirked. I'm not going to bite you. You don't know that. You'd know if I was going to. Because of the eyes? Because your heart would start racing. Mika opened her mouth to argue, but realized her pulse was racing. Damn it. This is insane. And yet here we are. Kaya sat on the floor, legs crossed, as if surrendering to gravity helped her stay grounded. You want answers. So, do I help me find the hunters? I'll keep you safe. Then I'm gone. That easy. Nothing's easy. Exactly. Mika hesitated. How do I know you're not the dangerous one? Kaya didn't answer. Just pulled up her sleeve. Her arm was covered in long, deep scars. Some healed. Some fresh. I've lost more than I've killed. I don't hunt humans. But I know they hunt me. Why? Because they can. Because they fear what they don't understand. Because I'm the last of my kind in this region. The last. My pack is gone. I watched them fall. Her voice cracked on that last word, just slightly. It stopped Mika cold. Not because of the story, but because it was the first time Kaya sounded wounded. Human. I'm sorry, Mika said softly. Don't be. Just don't let them finish the job. Mika sat down across from her, folding her legs under her. You'll stay here? You won't shift. Not unless I lose control. What makes you lose control? Kaya's eyes met hers.
Fear, rage, pain,
Hunger. And what keeps you grounded? Touch.
breath, skin.
Presence. Her gaze didn't waver. Mika felt her cheeks flush. That's a lot of pressure. Kaya tilted her head. You ask. Silence stretched between them. Electric.
Heavy.
Then Mika exhaled slowly. 1 week. That's all I can give you. Kaya nodded once. Then let's start. The next day was chaos. Mika had to explain to her curious coworker why she couldn't come into the office. Had to sneak Kaya out to a thrift shop to find clothes that didn't scream feral outlaw. Had to explain what deodorant was. How to speak without baring her teeth. How to walk like she wasn't stalking prey. It was exhausting, but somehow thrilling. Every time Kaya leaned close to ask something, Mika's stomach flipped. Every time their fingers brushed, it lingered. And when they returned to the apartment that night, sweaty, irritated, but laughing, actually laughing, something inside Mika cracked open. Kaya stood in the kitchen, frowning at the electric stove. How does this work? It's just heat. Mika stepped in beside her. Like fire, but not wild. Kaya turned to her, and they were too close. I don't like things that aren't wild. Then why are you here? Because you are. Mika froze. Kaya, it's not a line. I don't have lines. I have instincts. And they're screaming your name. Mika swallowed hard. You don't even know me. Not yet. But I will. And somehow, that didn't sound like a threat. It sounded like a promise. Kaya didn't dream. She didn't sleep like humans did. Rest was something her body demanded when the shift pushed her too far, when the ache in her bones couldn't be ignored, when she was wounded or hunted. But ever since she'd stepped into Mika's apartment, something strange had started to happen. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw Mika. Her scent lingered on the pillows. Her voice echoed even when the room was silent. Kaya had slept curled on the floor, wrapped in a blanket too soft for someone with claws, and woke up gasping, because in the dream, Mika had kissed her. Not out of lust or hunger,
But slowly.
like she belonged there. Kaya hadn't touched anyone in years.
Not like that.
Not without blood between them. But now, everything Mika did set her nerves on fire. A glance. A laugh. The way she reached for Kaya's wrist to guide her in the city, her fingers barely brushing skin. It was torture. It was peace. It was need. Mika, for her part, had stopped pretending she didn't feel it too. She still flinched when Kaya moved too fast. Still stared a second too long at the places where Kaya's scars peeked out from under her sleeves. But there was softness in her now. A willingness to be close. And Kaya, starved of gentleness, didn't know how to handle it. On the 5th day, they sat in the park, public enough to hide in plain sight, quiet enough that Kaya could breathe. Mika watched her stare at the trees like they were sacred. You miss it, she said. The forest. It's not about missing it, Kaya replied. It's where I am. This place, this city, it's like trying to breathe underwater. Then why stay? Because you're here. Mika's breath caught, but she didn't look away. What if I said I don't want you to leave? Kaya's voice dropped. Then I wouldn't. Silence stretched. Not uncomfortable, just loaded. Then Mika reached out and touched Kaya's hand. Skin to skin. The effect was immediate. Kaya stiffened, then relaxed, then let out a slow, shaky breath like she'd been holding it for days. You're warm, she whispered. So are you. Not always. You are with me. The moment broke when Mika's phone buzzed. She jumped, pulled it out of her pocket, glanced at the screen, then went pale. Kaya noticed instantly. What is it? Mika hesitated. My friend Sam.
She just sent me a link.
Someone's posting about werewolves online. Kaya's body tensed. What? It's a blog. Paranoid survivalist stuff, but there's a picture. She handed Kaya the phone. Kaya's heart stopped.
The photo was grainy.
Night vision. But unmistakable. Her. Half shifted. Running through trees. Her eyes glowed white in the shot. Where was this taken? I don't know, but the timestamp is 2 days ago. And it's spreading. Then they're close. You think it's the hunters? It has to be. They don't always use guns. Sometimes they use traps. Exposure.
Fear.
Kaya stood suddenly. We have to go.
What?
Where? Somewhere safe. Somewhere quiet. If they're watching the city, they'll find me. And if they find me, she didn't finish the sentence. Mika stood too. I'm not letting them hurt you. It's me they want. I don't care. You're not alone in this. Kaya's gaze softened. You keep saying that. Because it's true. And I keep wanting to believe you. Mika reached for her again, fingers brushing Kaya's wrist. Then believe me. Kaya leaned in, slowly, eyes locked on hers. Mika, yeah? If I kiss you, I won't be able to stop. Then don't stop. Love what you've seen so far and want to help me keep creating these awesome stories on this channel? Then subscribe and hit the bell. Your subscription supports the channel and makes sure you get more exciting stories. The kiss happened fast and slow all at once. Their mouths met like a collision, but their movements were tender, exploring, unsteady. Kaya's hand slid up Mika's back, gripping her shirt. Mika pressed closer, fingers digging into Kaya's waist. The world faded. The sounds, the tension, the fear. It was just heat and need, and something unbearably sacred blooming between them. When they finally pulled apart, breathing hard, Mika whispered, So, that bond thing you mentioned. Yeah, I think it's real. It is, Kaya said, forehead against hers. I felt it the second I touched you. What does it mean? That you're mine. And I'm yours. If you choose it. Mika didn't answer. Didn't have to. Her lips pressed to Kaya's again, softer this time.
Certain.
But fate, as always, wasn't kind to stolen moments. A sound cracked through the air. Not a gunshot. A click.
Camera.
Kaya turned instantly, growling. A man stood across the park with a telephoto lens. And beside him, another figure stepped from behind a tree. Black jacket. Silver belt buckle. Eyes like ice. Run, Kaya hissed. Mika didn't argue. They ran. The world was a blur of asphalt and neon as they ran. Mika didn't look back.
She didn't need to.
Kaya moved beside her like a shadow with breath, silent but fast, her body coiled with tension, every step calculated and violent with purpose. Mika's lungs burned, her heart pounding, but she didn't stop. Not until Kaya yanked her into a narrow alley between buildings, pressed her against a wall, and covered her mouth gently with one hand. The contact made Mika tremble, not from fear, but from the awareness of how close they were, how Kaya's body was flush against hers, her breath sharp, eyes scanning the street like a predator scenting blood. They stood there, locked in silence, until the distant sound of footsteps faded. Then Kaya spoke, voice low. We can't go back. They know your face now. Mika nodded. Where do we go? Kaya hesitated. Somewhere wild. What does that mean? I need space. I can't hold it back much longer. Mika felt a chill. You mean the shift? Kaya stepped back, eyes glowing faintly in the dark. It's not something I do. It's something I am. I've been holding it back for days. But running like that, it's waking it up. Are you going to lose control? No, a pause. But I need to let it happen. And I don't want you to see me that way. Mika stared at her. Why not? Because once you do, everything changes. You saved me in the fire. I already saw enough to know I trust you. That wasn't the full shift. Then show me. Kaya shook her head. You don't understand. When I change, I don't look like some movie version of a wolf. I'm Mother. You won't see a human in my eyes.
You'll see what I really am.
Then let me see you. All of you. Kaya's breath caught. You say that now, Kaya. Mika stepped closer, hand on her chest, over her racing heart. I'm not afraid of you. The air between them thickened. Then Kaya grabbed her hand and ran. This time, they left the city entirely. Took the old highway. Turned down an unmarked road. Followed dirt and dust and moonlight until the forest swallowed them whole. When the car finally stopped, Kaya stepped out and closed her eyes. The scent of pine. The hum of life in the soil. The wind through the trees. Here, she whispered. It's safe here. Are you sure? No one follows this far. Mika stepped out beside her. What now? Kaya didn't answer. She just began removing her clothes. Slowly, deliberately. One boot, then the other. Her jacket slid off her shoulders, revealing the scars carved into her back. Her shirt lifted, exposing skin stretched over muscle, silver lines of old wounds like constellations. Mika couldn't look away. When Kaya turned, completely bare under the moonlight, she didn't cover herself. She didn't flinch. She stood there, proud, dangerous, beautiful in a way that made Mika's chest ache. Whatever happens, Kaya said, voice tight, don't run. I won't. Kaya's body bowed with tension. She dropped to her knees, her hands digging into the dirt. Her back arched. Bones cracked. The sound was brutal, intimate. Her skin rippled, shimmered, then tore. Not blood, not flesh, but light, silver and black and wild. Her fingers bent backward, claws splitting through. Her mouth opened in a silent scream, fangs pushing past her lips. And then she was gone. In her place stood a creature 7 feet tall, for dark as midnight, muscles coiled like steel under skin. Eyes still gold, brighter now, blazing. Not a beast. Not a human. Something between. Something older. Something sacred. Mika didn't move. Her heart raced, but her feet stayed planted. Kaya. The wolf tilted her head, then slowly stepped forward. Mika's breath trembled. It's still you. The creature moved closer, towering,
Silent.
then bowed its head, gently, reverently, and pressed its forehead to Mika's chest. Mika let out a breath she didn't know she was holding and ran her fingers through Kaya's thick fur. You're beautiful, she whispered. The creature shivered. And then Kaya began to change back. It was slower this time.
Softer.
The bones shifted, the fur receded, and the woman emerged, naked, exhausted, trembling. Mika caught her before she collapsed. They sank to the ground together, Kaya half in Mika's lap, chest heaving. That's what I am, Kaya rasped. Not what I feared, Mika whispered. Not even close. Kaya looked up at her, eyes wet. You stayed. Of course I did. You're the only one who ever has. Mika leaned down and kissed her. Not because of the bond. Not because of destiny.
Because she wanted to.
Because Kaya, in that moment, wasn't a monster or a myth. She was a woman, wounded, wild, and full of a kind of pain Mika suddenly understood. They stayed wrapped in each other for hours. No words. Just breath and warmth and trust. And when dawn touched the sky, Mika whispered, What now? Kaya answered without hesitation. Now, we hunt the ones hunting us. Mika woke before the sun fully rose, her cheek pressed against Kaya's bare shoulder, the earth beneath them cold and damp but oddly comforting. The forest around them was silent in that sacred way only dawn could offer, like the world had paused to breathe before chaos began again. Kaya slept beside her, her body relaxed for the first time since they met, face softened by sleep, the perpetual tension in her jaw gone. It was strange to see someone so dangerous look so peaceful. Mika traced a line along one of the older scars on Kaya's collarbone, her finger light, thoughtful. She wondered who gave it to her, what story it held, how much pain had been buried inside this body before Mika had ever touched it, and why it made her heart ache so deeply to imagine a time when Kaya had to heal alone. Kaya stirred at the contact, her hand coming up slowly to cover Mika's, eyes fluttering open. "You stayed," she murmured, voice husky. "I told you I would. I thought maybe it was the shift.
The fear.
The shock." "I saw you," Mika said softly, "and I still see you." Kaya turned her head, their foreheads resting together. "You're not what I expected when I pulled you from that fire." "Neither are you. Do you regret it?" "Which part?" "All of it." "No," Mika said. "And that's what terrifies me." Kaya smiled faintly. "You should be terrified." "I am."
Good.
They didn't say anything else for a long while. Just lay there in the dirt, skin against skin, sharing breath. But the forest didn't let them stay hidden for long. A branch snapped nearby. Not the soft sound of a squirrel or a bird. Something heavier. Kaya sat up instantly, body alert. She wasn't naked anymore. She was armor made of instinct and history, every scar a map, every breath a weapon. "Get dressed," she said, already pulling on her jeans. "What is it?" "We're not alone." Mika dressed quickly, adrenaline sharp. Kaya moved silently, sniffing the air, scanning the trees. Her voice dropped low. "3 of them. Upwind. They're not here for a walk. You can smell them?" "Gunpowder.
Oil.
Steel." Mika's heart pounded. "What do we do?" "We run." "Again? You want to fight them in your condition?" "I want to stop being prey." Kaya turned to her, eyes flaring. "So do I. But not with you in the crossfire." "Maybe I want to be in the crossfire." "Don't joke." "I'm not." "Then you're insane." "Maybe." Mika stepped closer. "But if you run, I run too. If you fight, I fight. You're not alone anymore, Kaya. Remember?" Kaya looked at her like she was seeing her for the first time. "You don't get it. If they take you, if they hurt you, it breaks me." "Then don't let them." Kaya hesitated. "There's a safe house. Miles from here. But if we go, we're off-grid. No phones. No contact. Just you, me, and whatever comes next." "Sounds perfect." They ran again, but this time it felt different. Mika didn't feel like she was running away.
She was running toward something. Toward choice.
Toward a version of herself she'd never imagined until Kaya crashed into her world like fire. The safe house was a crumbling cabin hidden deep within a nature preserve, surrounded by rock and river and trees so thick they swallowed sound. Inside, it smelled of cedar and dust. Kaya lit a fire. Mika made tea from herbs she didn't recognize. They moved like they'd done this 1,000 times. Hours passed. Then night fell. And the silence shifted. Kaya stood suddenly. "They're close." Mika tensed. "How close?" "Within a mile." "How did they find us?" "The bond," Kaya said bitterly. "They don't just track scent. They track connection. And ours is glowing like a beacon. So we cut it." Kaya snapped around. "No. If it keeps you safe, don't you dare," she growled. "You think I can survive this world without you? I'm already half feral. You're the only thing anchoring me. Then we fight." "They're hunters, Mika."
Trained. Armed.
"Merciless. And we're desperate. That makes us dangerous too." Kaya stared at her, chest rising and falling with emotion. "You don't understand what you are to me." "Then explain it. You're not just a bond. You're my mate. My other half. My tether to what little humanity I have left." Mika's breath caught. "You're serious."
Deadly.
"Why didn't you tell me?" "Because if you rejected it, it would have destroyed me." "But I didn't." "No," Kaya said, voice shaking. "You kissed me.
You touched me. You saw me.
And you stayed. And now they're coming because of it." Mika stepped forward. "Then let them come. If this is what we are, we face it together." Kaya pulled her close, kissed her hard, desperate. And when they broke apart, the world trembled. A sound split the night. A flare.
Red.
Burning above the trees. Then gunfire.
Close.
Too close. "They're here," Kaya whispered. "And they brought silver." The first bullet shattered the cabin window, a scream of glass and silver that sliced through the night like a curse. Mika dove to the floor instinctively, arms over her head, heart crashing in her chest like it was trying to escape. Kaya didn't duck. She stood still, body vibrating with tension, her breath shallow, shoulders squared. Another bullet struck the doorframe, close enough that splinters sprayed into the room. Kaya turned to Mika with eyes that weren't human anymore, gold and endless, glowing with fury. "They're not here to capture," she said. "They're here to kill." Mika crawled toward her. "What do we do?" "We end it." "Kaya, no more running." Her voice cracked on the edge of a growl. "They came for a monster. Let's give them one." She pulled open a hidden hatch in the floor Mika hadn't noticed before. "You go. Through there. Follow the path. It leads to the creek. Wait for me by the rocks." "I'm not leaving you. You're not leaving me. You're staying alive. That's what matters." "Kaya, no." Kaya grabbed Mika's face in both hands, kissed her like it was a goodbye she couldn't survive, and then pressed their foreheads together. "Please. I can't fight if I'm worrying about you. And what if you don't come back?" Kaya smiled, small and sad. "Then follow the pole. It'll lead you home." Mika wanted to scream, to argue, but the door shattered before she could. A man stepped in, black armor, silver rifle. No hesitation. Kaya turned her body to shield Mika, and the bullet hit her square in the shoulder. The sound she made wasn't human. But she didn't fall. She lunged. Her body twisted midair, flesh tearing, bones snapping, the shift ripping through her like a storm. She landed not as a woman, but as the beast, towering, snarling, beautiful and terrifying. The hunter didn't have time to scream. Kaya's claws ripped the rifle in half, her jaws snapping just inches from his throat. She didn't kill him, not yet. She slammed him into the wall and turned to Mika. "Go." Mika ran. Down the hatch. Into the dark. The tunnel smelled of earth and rot, the wooden planks old and damp, the floor uneven. Her knees bled from the crawl, her hands scraped raw, but she didn't stop until she saw moonlight spilling through a grate above. She climbed out near the creek, heart pounding, adrenaline afire in her veins. She waited. 1 minute.
2, 5.
Then she heard it.
A howl. Raw.
Grief-stricken. Unbearably full of pain. "Kaya," she whispered, and without thinking, she ran back. She couldn't breathe. Couldn't feel her legs. Branches tore at her arms. She burst into the clearing by the cabin just in time to see Kaya on her knees, covered in blood. Hers and theirs. 3 bodies on the ground. One of them still breathing. A 4th man had a blade at her throat. "Move," he shouted, "and I'll slit her open." Mika didn't hesitate. "Let her go." The man turned. "You're the girl, aren't you? The bond. The weakness." Mika stepped forward, voice steady despite the fear. "You don't know what I am. You're human. Not anymore." "What?" Mika's pulse throbbed in her ears. She didn't know where the words came from. She didn't know what was moving through her, but she felt it. Her veins humming. Her skin alive. "You touched her. You tried to break what's between us. But you can't. You can't kill this." The man sneered. "Wanna bet?" He dragged the blade across Kaya's neck, not deep, but enough. Kaya screamed, a guttural sound that shattered something inside Mika. And then it happened. Mika moved without thinking. Her body burned. Her vision blurred. She reached him before he even turned. She grabbed his wrist, twisted it until it snapped, and the knife fell. She kicked him hard in the chest, sending him flying against a tree. The force shouldn't have been possible, but it happened. Kaya collapsed, gasping, blood down her throat. Mika dropped to her knees, catching her. "You're okay," she whispered. "You're okay." How did you?" "I don't know." "You felt it." "I felt you." Kaya touched Mika's cheek, her claws gone, her hands shaking. "You're changing. Because of the bond?"
"Yes."
"Your soul's tethered to mine. The longer we're connected, the more you become like me." "Is that bad?" "It's dangerous. So is love." Kaya laughed, then winced. We need to leave. Before more come. Mika helped her up, supporting her weight. They disappeared into the woods, limping, bleeding, alive. By the time they reached another abandoned shack deep in the preserve, Kaya could barely speak. Mika cleaned her wounds, hands trembling, rage and fear, and something wilder in her chest. They said I was your weakness, Mika whispered. But I don't feel weak. You're not, Kaya said. You're my reason. To live. To fight. To hope. To stop hiding. Mika stared at her. Then let's stop. Kaya looked at her like she was seeing her for the first time. You mean it? We fight back. Together. That means war. Then let it come. Mika didn't dream that night. She felt. The forest pulsed around her, under her skin, humming like a heartbeat that wasn't her own. Every breath tasted like moss and blood and moonlight. Every sound, wind through the trees, the distant cry of something hunting, the rustle of leaves, was louder than it should have been, clearer, like the world had tuned itself to a new frequency just for her. She lay in Kaya's arms on the floor of the ruined shack, the fire low, shadows dancing across the scarred walls. Kaya slept like a wolf even in her human form, half aware, arms wrapped around Mika's body protectively, breath steady, skin hot with fever. Mika touched her lips to the hollow of Kaya's throat, not to wake her, but to remind herself that this was real, that this wild, brutal, beautiful woman had bled for her, killed for her, kissed her like it meant the end of the world. And Mika had let her. No, she had wanted it.
She still did.
Something was changing inside her. Not just strength or speed or senses. Something deeper. More dangerous. She didn't know if it was the bond Kaya talked about, or if it had always been there, waiting to be unlocked. But she wasn't afraid of it anymore. She was hungry for it. When Kaya stirred and opened her eyes, Mika knew without speaking what she needed. Kaya saw it too. Her gaze went dark. You feel it now, she whispered, voice like smoke. Yes. It's inside you. You put it there. No, Kaya's hand slid up her side. You always had it. I just woke it up. Then don't stop. Kaya didn't. She kissed her like it was the first and last moment of their lives. Mika's body burned with it. The taste of Kaya's mouth, the pressure of her hands, the way her breath stuttered when Mika slid a hand down her back. It wasn't gentle. It wasn't rough. It was desperate. Sacred. Their bodies tangled on the floor, firelight flickering across sweat-slick skin, Kaya's teeth grazing Mika's throat but never biting. Holding back. Always holding back. Don't, Mika gasped. I'm not afraid of you. You should be. I'm not. I don't want to hurt you. Then don't hold back. Kaya froze. Her eyes glowed gold, lips parted, her chest heaving. Say it, she whispered. I want you. All of you. Everything. Kaya growled low, a sound that vibrated in Mika's bones, and then she gave in. They moved together like they'd always known each other, like this was the language they were born speaking. When Kaya finally collapsed on top of her, shuddering, Mika felt something inside her crack open, like the moment before a storm. Something's changed, Mika said softly. Everything's changed, Kaya murmured. You're glowing. What? Not literally. But you're different. The bond is full now. What does that mean? It means no one can break it. Not even death. Mika swallowed hard. I don't want to lose you. Then stay with me. Run with me. What about fighting? It's coming. I can feel them getting closer. But now you're part of it. You're part of me. Mika leaned her forehead to Kaya's. Then let them come. By morning they were already moving. Kaya took Mika deeper into the woods than she'd ever gone, showing her paths that didn't exist on any map. They moved like ghosts, careful, listening to the way the birds went silent, the way the air shifted. They set traps, dug lines, planted distractions. But even with all their preparation, Mika knew, when the hunters came, it wouldn't be a battle. It would be a reckoning. That night, as they waited in the hollow of an old ravine, Watching moonlight drip through the canopy like silver blood, Mika turned to Kaya. Do you regret saving me? Never. Even with everything it's cost? It didn't cost me anything. It gave me you. You think we're soulmates? I know we are. Mika nodded slowly. Then if we die tomorrow, I want to die like this. With you. Kaya kissed her again.
Fierce.
Final. Then the wind shifted. Kaya stood. They're here. The forest was quiet. Too quiet. And then shadows. Figures moving in the dark. Flashlights.
Boots. Guns.
Mika's heart didn't race. Not this time. She stepped forward, beside Kaya. Ready? She asked. Kaya growled. Let's make them bleed. They came from the north side of the ravine, moving in a line like they owned the ground they walked on. There were 7 of them, dressed in black, rifles strapped to their backs, silver gleaming from belts and boots. Their faces were hard, unreadable, like men who had already decided who deserved to live and who didn't. Mika watched from the cover of the trees, crouched low beside Kaya, her body still humming with the aftermath of their last night together. Her muscles ached, not from exhaustion, but from transformation, from awakening. There are more than before, she whispered. Kaya nodded, eyes fixed on the approaching hunters. They called reinforcements. They know we're done running. Mika touched her wrist, grounding both of them. Good. Let them see what we are when we stand our ground. Kaya's gaze flicked to her, something between awe and disbelief. You've changed. Because of you.
No.
You were always this. I just gave you permission. Mika's heart cracked open at that. No one had ever made her feel powerful before. No one had ever looked at her like she wasn't a burden or a weakness, but something sacred. But this was not the time for softness. One of the hunters stepped ahead of the others. The leader. He was older, but his voice carried sharp and cruel across the clearing. Kaya of the Hollow Moon. We know you're there, and we know what you've done. Kaya rose slowly, shoulders back, posture regal in its defiance. Then you know to be afraid. You broke the pact. You bonded with a human. She chose me. Mika stood beside her. And I'd do it again. The man sneered. You think that means anything? A human girl in love with a monster? You don't know what she's taken from you. She gave me more than any of you ever could, Kaya said, voice low, deadly. She gave me a reason to stop hiding. A reason to fight. Then die for it, the man said. And then the forest exploded. Smoke bombs. Flashbangs. Chaos. Kaya shifted mid-run, bones snapping, her body elongating into the beast, her roar shaking the trees. Mika didn't watch in fear this time. She moved.
Fast. Silent. Sharp.
The traps they had set worked, spikes and ropes and noise bombs, but not enough. These hunters were trained. Ruthless. Mika fought the only way she could, with fire. She'd fashioned Molotovs from bottles in the cabin, and when she threw one, it hit the center of the clearing and ignited like a scream. Kaya was fury incarnate, claws tearing through Kevlar, teeth snapping bones. But she didn't kill. Not yet. She disabled, protected, kept Mika in her line of sight at all times. Mika ducked behind a boulder, panting, one hand slick with blood from a graze along her arm. One of the hunters found her.
Tall.
Young. Shaking just slightly. You're human, he said. You can still walk away. Mika stood tall, bloody and burning. So could you. You don't have to die for her. I'm not dying for her, Mika said. I'm living for her. That's what you don't understand. You think love is weakness. You think our bond makes her vulnerable. But it's the only thing that's kept her alive. It's the only thing that's kept me human. She's cursed you.
No.
She's chosen me, and I chose her back. I'd rather be hunted with her than safe without her. The man didn't fire. He hesitated. That was all Kaya needed. She was behind him in a flash, knocking him unconscious with a single swipe. Mika turned to her, chest heaving. One of them is missing, Kaya said. The leader. Where would he, A scream.
Sharp. Distant.
Mika turned.
No.
Kaya, he's going for the river. Kaya didn't question it. She ran, Mika on her heels. They reached the riverbank in seconds. The leader stood on the rocks, holding a silver blade, something ancient etched into the handle. He held a vial in the other hand, dark, pulsing with magic. This ends now, he spat. I'll sever the bond, even if it kills her. He raised the vial. Kaya roared, but Mika stepped forward first. No, she said, voice shaking. You won't touch her. You think you can stop me? I know I can. She walked into the open. The blade flicked toward her, slicing her cheek.
She didn't stop.
You're not power. You're fear. And I'm done being afraid. She grabbed the vial from his hand and smashed it against the rock. The air pulsed. Light cracked. The man screamed. Kaya lunged. Her body collided with his, sending him into the river below. The current swallowed him. And then it was over. Silence. Smoke. Mika collapsed to her knees. Kaya shifted back, breathing hard, blood running down her arm. I'm okay, Mika whispered. Are you? Now that you're still breathing? Yes. Kaya dropped beside her, pulled her close. You were brilliant. You were mine. Kaya kissed her, messy, desperate, victorious. Is it over? Mika asked. Kaya looked out at the river. For now. Then what happens next? Kaya smiled. We stop running. And start living? Together. They moved into the old cabin by the river 2 weeks after the fight. Mika repaired the roof with her bare hands, Kaya reinforced the walls with instinct and muscle memory, and neither of them spoke much about what had happened that night in the clearing.
The bodies were gone.
The fire was out. But the air still held the echo of blood and choice. Some things you don't forget. Some things become part of you. Kaya hadn't shifted since then. She'd stayed in her human form, as if determined to prove to Mika that she could exist in this skin, in this world, without the monster. But Mika didn't see a monster. Not anymore. Not even when Kaya's temper flared or when her eyes lit up gold in the middle of the night. Not when she twitched in her sleep, growling at ghosts. Not when she walked barefoot through the forest and spoke to the trees in a language Mika would never understand. She was still the woman who had pulled Mika from the fire, who had bled for her,
kissed her like a storm.
Mika wasn't afraid of her. She was afraid of herself, because something was happening. Slowly, quietly, but undeniably. It started with her senses. The way she could smell a storm before the clouds gathered. How she could hear footsteps long before someone knocked. The way her heartbeat shifted when Kaya touched her, responding like it belonged to her now. Then came the dreams. Deep woods. Running. Hunting. Blood on her tongue, but not fear. Hunger.
Thrill.
Something primal waking inside her like a second heart. Mika didn't tell Kaya. Not at first. Not because she didn't trust her, but because she didn't trust herself. What if it was in her head? What if it wasn't the bond, but trauma? What if she was just clinging to the only person who'd ever made her feel invincible? But then one night, under a full moon that painted everything in silver, she looked in the mirror and saw it. Her pupils sharp. Her breath fogging the glass, even though the room wasn't cold. Her hands trembling with something between fear and need. She walked out to the river, barefoot, wearing nothing but Kaya's oversized flannel. She found her sitting on the rocks, shirtless, back to the water, scars glowing faintly in the moonlight.
I feel it, Mika said.
Kaya didn't turn around. I know. Why didn't you say anything? Because I needed it to be your truth. Not mine. Mika stepped closer. Am I becoming like you? No, Kaya stood, finally facing her. You're becoming you. The version of yourself that was always buried under rules and cities and silence. You think I was born for this? I think you were born for me. Mika let out a shaky breath. Does that scare you? It terrifies me. Why? Because I don't deserve it. Mika touched her face. Don't say that. You don't know the things I've done. The lives I've taken. The monsters I've become. I know the woman who gave up everything to save a stranger. I know the hands that held me,
The voice that calmed me.
the kiss that woke me up. You make me human, Kaya whispered. You make me wild, Mika answered. And then they kissed again, slower this time, not urgent like war, but deep like home. Kaya's hands gripped Mika's waist, and Mika felt her own fingers slide up Kaya's spine like they'd done it 1,000 times. When they pulled apart, Mika's breath caught. I want you to show me, she said. What it's like. Kaya blinked. What do you mean? The shift. The forest. The bond. All of it. I want to feel what you feel. Mika, that's not something I can teach. Then let me learn. Kaya stared at her like she was standing at the edge of a cliff. If I let you come that close, you'll never be able to go back. I don't want to go back. Your life ended in the fire, Mika said. Everything since then has been rebirth. Kaya hesitated, then nodded once. She took Mika's hand and guided her deeper into the woods, to a place where the trees opened wide like ancient guardians. They sat together on the mossy ground, knees touching. Kaya whispered a word Mika didn't recognize, low and soft and full of power. And then Kaya began to shift. But this time it was different.
Slower.
Gentler. Not violent like the first time. Not hidden like the others. She let it happen with Mika watching every movement, her bones stretching, her spine curling, her skin rippling into fur and light and myth. The wolf stood before her, beautiful, wild, alive. Mika reached out, and the wolf stepped forward. She pressed her forehead to Mika's chest. Mika closed her eyes, and the moment they touched, something inside her snapped. Not pain, not fear. Release. Mika gasped, falling to her knees. Her vision blurred. Her hands dug into the dirt. Her body didn't shift, but her spirit did. She felt it rush through her like lightning, connection, raw and ancient. Kaya inside her, around her, through her. It was overwhelming. And then, just as suddenly, it was calm. She opened her eyes. Kaya had returned to her human form, kneeling before her, eyes wide with wonder. You felt it, she whispered. Mika nodded. You pulled me through the veil. You crossed it. What happens now?
Now.
Kaya smiled, slow and dangerous. Now you're one of us. Even if your body never shifts, the forest knows you. The moon knows you. I know you. Mika leaned forward. Then let me claim it. Let me claim you. Their mouths met like a promise.
Like a vow.
Like the beginning of something too wild to name. Spring came late to the valley, but when it did, it came all at once, like something holding its breath finally exhaled. The river surged with meltwater. The trees bloomed in a riot of green. The earth smelled wet and alive. Mika stood barefoot on the edge of the clearing, eyes closed, face tilted to the sky. She could hear everything now, not like before. Not just sound, but rhythm.
Pulse.
Intent. She could feel the way the forest moved around her, how it bent with Kaya's presence like it recognized her as its daughter. And maybe it did, because Mika had chosen her. Not once. Not out of desperation. But every day since that fire, every moment since the first time Kaya's claws touched her skin without cutting, she had made the choice again. And now the choice was complete. She turned when she felt Kaya behind her. She didn't need to hear her footsteps. The bond between them wasn't just emotional anymore. It was elemental. Kaya walked toward her, still half wild even when she wore jeans and a tank top, her hair tangled, her scars visible, her eyes lit with something that always looked like thunder. You smell like rain, Mika murmured. Kaya smiled. You feel like home. They kissed like the world had stopped turning. No more hunters. No more fear. Just them. When they broke apart, Kaya rested her forehead against Mika's. The council reached out, she said. Mika tensed. What council? The elders. From the highlands. They felt the bond. They want to speak. About us. About you. I'm not one of them. No, Kaya said. You're more. Mika let out a breath. Do they want to separate us? They can't. The bond is locked. But they want to understand it. Study it. They've never seen a human cross like you did. They think you're something new. And what do you think? Kaya cupped her face. I think you were always something new. They just didn't have a name for you yet. Mika smiled faintly. What if they don't accept me? Then we walk away. You'd give that up? A place with your kind. I already have a place. Right here. She touched Mika's chest. With you. Mika kissed her again, slower this time. Then let's go. Let them see us. Let them see what love can do. The journey to the highlands took 5 days. They traveled in shadows, taking paths known only to wolves and ghosts. The further they climbed, the more Mika felt the shift inside her, like the forest itself was preparing her for something. They arrived at the stone circle on the 6th night, the full moon already high. The council was waiting, 7 figures cloaked in furs and silence, their eyes like molten metal. Kaya shifted in front of them, silent and proud. Mika did not. She stood as she was, human but not. Changed, but not broken. She held Kaya's hand, even when the oldest one stepped forward and said, "She does not belong." Kaya growled, low and warning. Mika did not flinch. "I do not need to belong. I did not come to ask for a place." "Then why are you here?" "To show you what's possible. You see weakness. I see choice. I see power you don't understand. You are mortal. So is the moon," Mika said, "and yet you howl for her." That silenced them. For a moment. Then one by one, the elders stepped forward, not to attack, but to kneel. Not in submission, but in acknowledgement. The eldest placed a clawed hand over Mika's heart. "You were chosen by the wild, and you chose it back." "Yes." "Then you are not guest. You are kin." Kaya exhaled like she hadn't breathed in years. That night, they danced. The wolves shifted around the fire. Mika moved with them, not as an outsider, but as one of their own. She didn't need fur. She didn't need fangs. She burned from the inside out. Kaya watched her like she'd never seen anything more beautiful. "What?" Mika asked, breathless. "You." Kaya stepped close. "I spent my life running. I thought that's what survival meant. But now I know survival is staying. Loving. Choosing to stay even when you could leave." "Then stay," Mika whispered. "Always." They made love that night beneath the stars. No walls, no hiding. Just skin and truth, and the kind of quiet that only comes after a storm. When they woke, wrapped in furs and morning light, Mika rolled toward her and said, "So what now?" Kaya smiled. "Now we build." "What?" "A life. A home. A story they'll tell long after we're gone." "And when the world comes for us again?" Kaya grinned, sharp and sweet. "Then we're reminded, we are not afraid." Mika leaned in, kissed her slow, and for the first time in forever, there were no shadows at the edge of her vision. No ache in her chest. No emptiness. Just the rhythm of a bond that was deeper than blood, older than fear, and brighter than the moon itself. Because some stories don't end in fire. Some stories begin with it.